This game shortly followed by a shootout for top spot as Serbia take on Russia. Latvia caused a shock in their final game yesterday, beating the Russians, who still have their place in the next round confirmed. It's either Latvia or Croatia that will make it through as the third team from Group C, along with Serbia and Russia. Still some sorting out needed to find out who's going to the next round of EuroBasket Women 2015. The situation in Group C is this. For Croatia to advance, they must beat GB here and then hope Russia defeats Serbia later on. Any other result and Latvia advance along with both Serbia and Russia. Then there's the order of the top three to think about and which teams would carry wins into the next round. Alongside me, Tim Long, perhaps making better sense of it all, is former GB women's head coach Mark Clark.
Well, we've had the calculator out, and in fact we put the program in, and that you're absolutely right. There's still a few things to be resolved. But taking away from the mathematics of this, the heart wants Croatia, with all the issues they've had, with the injuries they've had, overcoming those, coming up with some great performances. The heart would love them to get through, get the win here against the Great Britain team that has underachieved and has performed way below their own expectations. But they'll want to sign off with a win as well. There's also FIBA ranking points at stake in these competitions. And when it comes to the draw for the next round, the qualification of EuroBasket, that could mean Great Britain would have an easier or tougher draw, possibly depending on the result of this game. So there's lots to play for both teams. Great Britain have got a chance to get over that disappointment. Only two of their players are in double figures on averages, and that's fundamentally their problem. They can't put the ground thing in the basket. And whatever way you talk about the quality of coaching, the talent of players, it's about putting the ball in the hoop, and GB haven't been able to do that at the required level in this competition. Croatia, on the other hand, they've just done a marvellous job at overcoming adversity. Injuries coming in, Leilas, Mazura not here, some few players are retired. Ivazic, their most experienced player, goes down in 52 seconds. And Todoric is there in the cast there. You can see her at in the lineup. She's actually dislocated her ankle in the same game. They came with 11, had some even pass-ball issues they couldn't resolve, and they've ended up with a shot at the second round. You can't say enough good things the way Bratislav Curic has got his team in this position. So the heart, as they say, for the neutrals will be all with Croatia. Great Britain just looking for some pride.
Croatia starting with a big loss to Russia, then came the hard-fought win over Latvia and a 17-point defeat to Serbia. They must win here today. First, let's go courtside for the national anthems, starting with Great Britain.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Croatia.
Well, we predicted early on that this might be a winner-takes-all match for progression between Croatia and Great Britain. Things got a little easier yesterday with GB ruled out of the running. Mark, what can we expect from these two rosters here today?
Well, just give them the referees a bit of a check before, because there's third team on the floor from Portugal, Poland and Italy. But what can we expect today? Well, for me, at some point, Great Britain coming in a little undercooked, should we say. But they haven't got to the level they wanted to aspire to. And this roster only averaging 50 points a game, and that's not enough at this level. Still, they've still got this nice blend of some experience and some young players coming through. So that's a good story for Great Britain. Here's the starting lineup, and they've gone with Zania Stewart on the inside and not Temi Fekbenlane. It's the normal starter on the inside. They've gone with the slightly more aggressive, quicker lineup with Chantal Handy at the 4. They tried that yesterday and went 13-2, 15-2 down. That's what this Croatian team will know as well. The other thing that Croatia will know is that every team in this competition at some point has gapped Great Britain defensively and just offered them shots. Have scouted the sort of flex-type offense, and Luka Ivankovic on the inside will be a huge factor today. You know, will Great Britain be able to deal with her physical size? And the other player really to give a really huge congratulations to is Mira Mazic. She came here as one of the undersung players of this Croatian team, but she has become that second, third scorer and has really given this Croatian team the opportunity to be in a position where they might qualify. GB have to score over 60. They haven't scored over 60 in this competition, only averaging 50 a game. They score 50 today, Croatia win.
GB last in the competition in scoring, 50.7 points per game. Last in assists as well. They've struggled to move the ball around, and their opponents, which Braslav Turic will have taken note of, have forced them to shoot perhaps shots that they haven't wanted in the competition so far. Croatia, with all the pressure on their shoulders though, knowing they need to win this game just to then rely on Russia against Serbia later on.
Well, the thing that you mentioned there about the shots and the percentages that Great Britain have taken, you can't just come in and have plan A. There's got to be plan B. The lack of assists as well, that's the thing that means you have to work so hard to take tough shots to make baskets. That's why they're down at 50. That's why they're down at 50 points a game. Whereas Croatia, with all their injury issues, are just 67 points a game for Croatia. And they've not come here with their big names. They've come here with players who move the basketball, are aggressive down the floor in the terms of the break, and the ball doesn't stick. And there's a criticism of Great Britain. The ball sticks almost on every pass. You never really see the 1, 2, 3 passes to free up an open shooter. When they have done that, Rachel Vanderbilt and Stephanie Collins have shot well. Croatia know that. They won't give those guys any space at all. The equation's pretty straightforward for Great Britain. Keep Ivankovic on the outside, box out because Croatia's done a great job on the glass, and try and make Sigler play for 40 minutes because she is the only real quality guard option Croatia have. So you got to play her the whole time she's out there, get up, really give her some hard work to do just to advance the basketball.
We're all set at the Arena Savaria for the 4th game of the EuroBasket Women 2015 final round for both Croatia and Great Britain. Myself, Tim Long, alongside former GB Women's head coach Mark Clark, all set to talk you through the action here in Szombathely, Hungary. If you don't do the business early on, things are so often taken out of your hands. Great Britain eliminated yesterday by Latvia's shock win over Russia. For them now it's about going out on a high. Injuries stop Croatia making a good start, but what a great job they've done to fight this far. Now they must do the business here and hope Russia provide a helping hand later on. Latvia, quite possibly, must sit back and watch both games today before they know whether or not to plan a journey to the next round or to book a flight home.
Well, if I was a member of that Latvian team, I'd be comfortable. I'd probably have a cold beer after playing 4 days in a row, and I would just be great. I'll be a Great Britain fan for the first game, and if they don't do it, I'll be a Serbian fan for the second game. I'll be a fan for the afternoon if I was a Latvian. I wouldn't be surprised if all those Latvian fans come along and cheer on the other teams too. They've probably been the best supported team here, haven't they? There's been a large contingent of Latvian fans with boost attendance today.
Latvia, the only team from this group not playing here today. They've played the last 4 days, and of course, if they were to get to the next round, they would have an extra rest day to work with too. We're all underway here, though, with Croatia and Great Britain. And it's Croatia who start with the ball with Siglar. Over to the far side now to Miloglav, moved inside, and they'll get the first score. Mijana Mazic gets inside.
I don't know where Stephanie Gandy had gone to on defense, but nice little cut from the weak side, flash to the middle, easy to.
Van der Waal finding Handy. She's going to look to drive inside, and a foul call.
The interesting thing on that penetration, Tim, is that Luka Ivankovic didn't help. She's like, if I'm not going to help now, because if I help, I know she's just going to fill the middle. She's looking to rebound and trusting people one-on-one on the perimeter to play defense. Because again, they're trying to try and gap the person with the ball.
Here's Handy again, moving it inside now to Stewart. Looking to go to work, stopped by her opposite number, Ivankovic.
Got to play quick, Ivankovic. She can't go up and down and straight in front of her. She's very big, very solid. Plays great defense.
Great start here for Croatia. Mijana Mazic has 2 baskets already.
Oh, benefit day for Mazic. Gets it from 2 feet and 3 feet, and people just standing behind her.
Handy on the perimeter again. Now Stewart. Goes back to Handy. She's going to put it up from the foul line. And too long, the rebound grabbed by Ivankovic, and Croatia can look to extend their early lead. GB have been off to a slow start in all of their games here. That's a swift pass into the centre towards Mazic. She couldn't get it to go that time, but controlling the offensive glass was Luka Ivankovic to finish. And GB are going to call a timeout after just 1 minute and 18 seconds here, down 6-0.
Now, look, read what's going on. So they're just
What I can't understand.
All right, so read that, because that's just
We said right at the beginning, this is a pride game for Great Britain.
Gandy, drag it straight out.
So like Latvia have a 6-0 start, and Mazic has 4 points from 2 feet with not being contested. And then Luka Ivankovic, who's probably, no disrespect to Luka Ivankovic because she's a quality early player, is the quickest person to react to a loose ball. And you can't defend undefendable things. That's not about talent, that's about application here. This Great Britain team has built a reputation in the last 10 years of basketball at this level of being one of the hardest teams to play against. They've just given Croatia a 6-0 start. Credit Croatia, but that's just a 6-0 start.
Luka Ivankovic has started with 3 rebounds in 78 seconds. Croatia leads 6-0. Handy going to try and get GB on the board, grabs her own rebound, puts it back up, and is fouled by Ivankovic, who can't believe the call.
Well, we're going to get a chance to have a look at it. It's going back up. It's not the best angle from where we are because we're behind Ivankovic, and that wasn't the referee who called the call. It was the referee in front of the Great Britain bench. Doesn't really matter what you and I think anyway. We haven't got a whistle or a grey shirt, so.
First point for GB from the line from Chantal Handy. Cap number 101 for her today, after winning the 100th yesterday. 6 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game in the competition. 12 points against Latvia, but just 7 of 28 from the field overall. One of a number of GB players who have struggled, shooting 25%. Siglar to Miloglav, quickly on to Jankic, into the centre to Ivankovic again. There's space on the outside now. The 3 is good for Miloglav.
Oh, GB showed the zone, and easy in pass to the inside against the zone, which is the thing you're trying to stop. And the ball went in, all 5 players turned in, forgot to stay at home on the perimeter, and wide open look from the 3-point line.
He won't be too happy with the start yet again, Coach Buckle. Collins to Handy. Collins going to shoot the three, did that well yesterday. Short this time though, offensive board Van der Voort. Stewart, and inside a bit of jostling. The foul's going to go on Mazic. 4 team fouls already on Croatia, which could prove a factor. Now Steph Collins out to Handy, the long two, contested two as well. Gandhi is going to grab the rebound, and a fresh 14 to work with for GB. Collins, who is 4 of 6 from the outside against Serbia. Handy driving inside, and misses the shot in the paint. Fed in towards Mazic, who now has 6 points in the opening 3 minutes.
Well, we mentioned Mazic before the game about how she's grinding confidence, but the speed of what she did. She caught it, made a move. Caught it, made a move. Didn't have to. The ball didn't stick. Chances to actually move the basket. The defense hasn't got a time to react, and she gets a 2 from 4 feet. Great execution in transition, don't forget, with Croatia. Brought it down, got someone in the post, threw it in. Didn't want to set putting it out, didn't want the ball to stick. Did a nice job. 11-2 start. What was it yesterday? 15-2. Great Britain had to try and recover, and did. Got it back to 4.
Almost forcing the turnover, but Mila gloved it ever so well to get away on half court, and the foul called on Van der Voort, on Handy rather.
Well, every loose reaction at the moment, and the aggression and the activity is coming from the Croatian team. Not surprising, obviously. They've got a chance to qualify.
GB could be down double digits after 3 minutes and change here if they're not careful. Siglar. Mila Glav. Collins working hard to stick with her. And a foul call.
Number 6, Stephanie Collins.
Well, she's somebody who will always fight for the Great British cause, the most capped player at any level, women's and men's, for Great Britain.
Someone's got to spark this Great Britain team.
Mila Glav going to try a 3.
Points in transition always help. You get like now, Fembele needs it now to go to work with, and they just a little sloppy, don't execute. All they needed then was a little bit of composure, Great Britain, to get their most potent offensive player the ball with a mismatch 4 feet from the basket. Shouldn't have been a turnover.
You see the injured Croatian players in the stands here at the Arena Savaria. They only started with 11, lost 2 in that first game. And here they are on the final day of Group C with a chance still of making the next phase. They made a very good start to this one too. Mina Mazic grabs another rebound. Another 14 seconds to work with here for Croatia. Siglar, shot clock down to 5, and it goes to Mazic, who's fouled and will go to the line to try and add to her 6 points.
Well, it's always a worry for coach coming into a game with so much pressure, but coach with so much pressure on them. But Coach Turic must be really impressed with the way his team are applying themselves to the game. You know, they've come out, they've gone inside almost at will against a Great Britain team that normally prides itself on being very strong around the ring. So they've gone inside, they've gone deep, and Croatia really starting to tick this scoreboard over in a very worrying way for Great Britain. A very pleasing way for them, probably the neutrals as well, who really warmed to their effort with the injuries.
First free throw off the mark for Mazic. This is Croatia's first trip to the line. They're 5 of 8 from the field. Coach Buckel's team are 0 of 6, yet to score a field goal. Mazic does get the second to drop, so the deficit is 10 for GB.
Great Britain there have probably the most active lineup on the inside with Dominique Allen, who's been very good in terms of getting on the glass. And now the ball that gets stuck with her.
Collins.
It's a lot of action to run to get it 4 feet outside the three-point line.
Here is Allen onto Van der Voort. Frank Benley, who can do some damage inside. Mid-ranger, no good. Rebound grabbed by Croatia, and here they come again on the charge. Mila Glav. Now Jankic. Thought about putting it up. Goes back, and they'll feed it in now to Ivankovic, who looks to turn against Allen. Good defense from Allen that time. Grabs the rebound as well, and a foul on Jankic.
Well, Dominique Allen recovered very, very well to get back involved in that play because Ivankovic gets down on the floor, gets very deep. Allen wasn't going to be denied with a defensive rebound.
Van der Waal, midway point of the first quarter.
They called out a foul. Was that a foul called on that play before?
Van der Waal into Fagbenle, I thought it was.
They should have shot through. Let me just check.
It should have taken Croatia over the foul limit. It is GB ball still. And Steph Collins getting ready to inbound. Temi Fagbenle there, double-double against Serbia yesterday, 11 points and 10 boards. Moves it on to Allen. Shot clock down to 5 now, Van der Waal. Van der Waal going to put it up just inside, right on the money from Rachel Van der Waal. First field goal for Britain comes 5 minutes in. And she's one of the players who shot the ball relatively well in this tournament for GB. Ivankovic let it slip through her fingers, and Van der Waal will come away with it too.
That's good work again by Dominique Allen. She was just active around the basketball. Needs to be aggressive right now. The sideline wide open for her in terms of attacking the basket. 1 or 2 dribbles, she'd have got to the ring.
Collins with the 3, knocks it down. Back-to-back field goals for GB. And a double-digit deficit has been reduced here to 5. "12 points against Serbia for Steph Collins. Those 4 3-pointers. She's averaged 9.7 a game in the tournament. Mazic. Waiting for Milaglav. Back into Mazic, who spins away so easily but can't finish. Fagbenle comes away with the ball. Van der Waal, space for Collins, who sets herself for the 3 again. Back-to-back threes for Steph Collins. And GB have reduced a 10-point deficit down to just 2.
Oh, great job by Steph Collins. You said, right, she was one of the players that was never going to lie down and not battle for Great Britain, and demonstrates again why she's got 130 caps for her country. Back-to-back threes. This is there the little blow to the chin. Totally accidental, happened. So a nice little spell for Great Britain, bit of transition basketball. Coach Churich takes that timeout, just wants to remind his players what's at stake here. They can't get beat in transition.
Perfect start for Coach Braslav Turic, a double-digit lead so early on. Couldn't have hoped for much more, but GB have rallied. They've got themselves back into this. And this is where the pressure builds again on Croatia, who have it all to lose here against Coach Buckel's side. He'll be much more happy now with the way they're shooting the ball. Collins with a couple from the outside. Van der Waal with a 2 as well. Took them a long time to get going from the field, but they have now. And they've got the momentum. Croatia 12, Great Britain 10. As we get ready to come back in off the timeout. Eva Siglar bringing the ball up court. Onto Jankic. Slišković into the game. Jankic moving it into Ivankovic now. Across to the far side to Borovic, who had a huge 17-point game against Serbia. She banks that one in to get up and running here against GB. Allen's going to take the uncontested long 2, can't get it to go. Slišković comes away with the rebound. Now Siglar. Quickly onto that left hand and looking to try and find Slišković. Gandhi working hard to get back.
Again, it was decent transition the other way by Great Britain. They had wide open look that they failed to connect with, but they're shooting badly from mid-range and from the game anyway in terms of trying to run their half-court stuff. Dominique Allen should take that shot.
Siglar. She's going to put up the 3. Eva Siglar able to get going in the game from the outside.
Well, Sigler's always going to shoot the three. If you go underneath, she's going to do that. And there's a scouting situation again. Sigler has pulled the trigger on that three every time defense goes underneath. And the offensive foul called the other way.
Whenever they get a bit of momentum, they can't seem to keep it. A quick rally from 10 down to get within 2. Croatia back up by 7 and have possession. Sigler feeding it quickly into Slišković. Up against Clark here, able to get it to go over the top.
It's the catch. The catch was so deep that the offensive player has all the advantages.
Clark's going to shoot the 3. A little short, offensive board, Fagbenley. Now Bravo Harriet also in the game. Looking to attack inside and kick it out to Gandhi, who puts it up, and a miss from Gandhi, who's had a poor shooting tournament, 2 of 22 from the field now. And this is Borovic from the corner. She can't hit. Rebound from her opposite number. Collins taking it inside this time. Back out for Bravo Harriet. Another miss. And Slišković another board. And got away from Sigler in transition. A little bit of a frantic spell for both teams. Croatia lead by 9, final couple of minutes of the first quarter.
Interesting to see how Great Britain react now to Ivankovic sitting down with Stewart in the game. They would have the opportunity to go deep inside. Just got to execute to get it there.
Sigler able to find a way through and gets fouled by Van der Waal and will go to the line for 2.
Well, they've run pick and roll the last 3 times down the floor, Croatia, and Great Britain have played it differently every time. And they go underneath, she shoots, they try to chase, she comes over the top. Normally, you organize yourself so that if you normally color-coded, and you off the ball, you know what's going to be called, but no one was in help. So if you're going to chase, you've got to try and slow up Sigler as she turns the corner. Just doesn't, Sigler at the moment is controlling the tempo and deciding what shots her team take, and she's getting anything she wants herself off that pick.
She gets them both from the line to give Croatia their largest lead at 11.
Stewart needs it right now.
And Stewart has it. Trying to turn away from Slišković. Back out to the perimeter. Bravo Harriet attacking. Batted away and recovered by Van der Waal, who saves it for Clark. Shot clock's down at 3 though. Ball didn't hit the rim. Clark has to put up the 3. Off the mark, and here comes Sigler. Going through the gears again. Simple pass, simple finish for Borovic, and GB having to call timeout again. A minute remaining in the first quarter. They're down double digits once more. Croatia leading 23-10.
Well, the issue, and this is the issue that Great Britain have here, is they made it, what, an 11-10 game. They got right back in it. And then they went to the bench when Collins and Van der Waal has made shots. And they haven't scored since they broke up that sort of rhythm. And when they went inside to Azania Stewart, Slišković played great defense, forced her to almost to curl away from the basket, whereas Slišković, the other end, caught it deep and went up deep. Just went up a little quicker. And it's not a hard technical problem for Great Britain. Croatia have asked them how they're going to play defensively, and they haven't dealt with the pick and roll at all. So they've got to pick which way to do it. We've talked all the way through this tournament now. Pick the poison. Pick the way you want the other team to score. Croatia are scoring however they want at the moment. Great Britain haven't forced them to play in a particular way at all. And both timeouts taken with 1 minute and 4 to go in the first. So Great Britain have got to tough this out now.
An 11-0 Croatia run here. Van der Waal and Collins, the only 2 players to hit field goals for GB in the game so far. Stewart's going to try and do that, draws the contact. She won't be able to pick up a field goal, but she will go to the line for 2.
Good decision by Great Britain to attack the basket on this one, but Stewart's got to finish. Yeah, it's a layup, got to make that. Now she's got to make both from the line as opposed to perhaps the extra point.
Does make the first. 10 points and 4 boards against Russia in game 1, but just 2 points in game 2. And then 6 yesterday against Serbia.
She's having a bit of a nightmare in terms of field goal, free throw percentage in the tournament, down about 37%, which is because she hasn't shot many. She's not been able to recover. She hasn't been fouled very often because they haven't got the ball inside. Great Britain showed a 2-3 zone.
Able to get them both that time. Jankic to Siglar. Slišković spotting a gap. Created a bit of room, couldn't finish. GB currently shooting 1 of 10 from the inside. Here's Stewart. Clark. And it goes towards Stewart, prodded away. And a turnover force, and here comes Siglar with a quick pass up court. Borovic then finding Slišković, who started it all off with the defensive work, and she finishes at the other end.
Which basically means she ran the floor harder than everybody else. And this is national team basketball. You don't get outworked. And Slišković deflected it. And you can see the blue shirts just not getting back hard enough. And Slišković gets a layup.
GB have been outworked. Outfought. Croatia lead by 13, 25-12 after 1.
And these stats are going to be horrible reading for Great Britain fans, not just because they've gone 10%, they've allowed Croatia to go 61 and 50 from the field. That's another effort thing. You know, rebound-wise, it's all a bit, you know, it's close. 7 assists. We also talked before the game about the lack of assists for Great Britain, which means they have to work so hard for their points. Whereas plays like the one Slišković ended the half with just means it's so easy when you're getting assists. So you've got to... The great thing for me about this Croatian performance is they came out the gate, even though they're under the pressure of trying to, they must get the win to progress. They're the team that's played loose, they've played a very good rhythm, they've run the floor well, and that play, you just got the highlight there. Luka Ivankovic will never believe she's the fastest person on the floor. She was in that play.
Croatia have got scores out of 6 players. GB only have a couple who've made field goals in the first quarter, and we talked about the assists before the game. GB last in the competition, I believe, at 9.1 assists per game, only 2 in the quarter there, so it's even falling more.
Well, if you hold the ball, so you make a pass and hold the ball, the defense adjusts, and you've got to get either a great screen like we saw right earlier in the tournament. Great Britain got an alley-oop in one game. So you've got to really execute so well if the ball is stuck, because the defense sees the ball. It's really hard. And they start then to play the pass because you're going to pass. So you create nothing. And it's really hard offensively to play that way unless you've got some great perimeter shooters and you're trying to shorten the game. The one thing about trying to shorten the game is you can't get points in transition, and Great Britain have given up so many points in transition.
The Croatia bench outscoring GB 8-0 as well at this point. It's a long way back for GB already, down 13 at the start of the second. Fag Bentley.
Exactly what we just talked. No one's made a cut yet. That's either great Croatian defense or very poor Great Britain offense until Chantal Handy makes a really tough move off a really nice penetration. That's a much better move, little hang time. But it's a tough move to make if you can't make enough of those all game.
Double Sertali to 4, her first field goal. Here's Siglar. Thrown into the hands of Van der Waal. And a turnover and then a foul on Jankic.
It has to be the unsportsmanlike, so Van der Waal will shoot the throws. There's no one behind Jankovic, and so Van der Waal will go to the line for 2 and possession. So they've got it back to 11. They get the 2 from this. They get into single figures, and all of a sudden they got some momentum.
Big opportunity for GB right at the start of the second to get back into this game. Van der Waal has to knock down the free throws first, and she does.
There's always a British fan with a hat. Wherever you go, whatever sport. Good effort with a top hat, though. Plenty of Latvian fans arriving just to underline the fact they would love to see a Great Britain win.
Fagbenley. Again, so static at the moment in towards Fagbenley. That's her area, though. Able to swivel away and get it to go off the glass. So GB back from 13 down to within 8. Slišković. Siglar. Quicker ball movement from Croatia. Slišković. Looking for somewhere to go now. Going to attack against Stewart. Now here comes Van der Waal in transition. Handy called for the travel, so GB with an opportunity to close the gap further, turn it over. Slips through the fingers of Mijana Mazic. GB have the ball back. A couple of back-to-back turnovers. Stewart finding Fagbenley. And she's fouled by a combination of Mazic and Borovic. Goes on the number 13, Mazic.
So the thing that running flex-type offenses gives you as an issue, and some coaches think it's a positive, some think it's a negative. You start to lose control of where people shoot the ball from and who shoots it. So you said it right in the possession before when Fagbenley went down low, got it close to the ring. Then she catches it high. Now, then she's going to put the ball on the floor. So she's some players have the ability to do both. So you're relying on players to make really good decisions and read the floor. And Great Britain, when their confidence is this low, have often ended up with the wrong people shooting the wrong shots. And that's something why. It's not as if they're trying to run to the wrong place. If you're running well, the flex really gives the defense an issue. When you're not running well, your offense, that you end up with the wrong people in the wrong place shooting the wrong shot.
Borovic shooting the 3 here and knocking it down. 8-point Croatia lead again. GB had reeled them into within 5. Van der Waal looking to attack quickly. And be able to recover on the far side. Knocked out of her hands by Jankic. Still GB ball. Collins back in for Van der Waal. Here's Azania Stewart. Now Fagbenley, again catching the ball further away from the basket than she'd perhaps like. Stewart. Now Handy going to put it up from that same spot and straight in.
Much better rhythm on that shot. She came out, got her feet set. There you go. Lined it up, knocked it down.
Jankic quickly onto Siglar. Now Slišković. Guarded by Stewart. Going to look to go to work against Azania Stewart. Puts it over the top of her, but Stewart did enough.
Good work by Stephanie Gandy to box out. I like when players box out, don't even worry about rebounding themselves. Just create the space, keep the player away from the glass.
Gandy looking to attack, another miss for her. Siglar. Slišković. It's a nice pass and a foul on Collins. Great work from Borovic to make that move towards the basket.
Well, you missed the timing there on the replay. When Slišković caught it, Borovic is already on the move, and that really creates what didn't happen from the other perspective. As the ball gets reversed, Great Britain don't move, so there is that backdoor cut that's available. Nice pass by Slišković. It's great to see a big player who's got the ability to pass, worth their weight in gold. And for all the trials and tribulations that Great Britain have had in this game, they're still only 6 down. They were down 13 at one point. You know, they're typically, from a Great Britain perspective, they always work themselves back into games. They just should do it before they dig a hole. The old Danny Blanchflower quote, what you equalise before you go one behind, I think, the football quote.
GB have given their opponents a head start in every game so far, and they're still close enough in this one. And that's really good work from Dominique Allen.
What a quick move. Got it and went confidently. Didn't have to think. And Dominique Allen has been she was in the 2012 Olympic team and in France last time. Looking very confident. Probably as confident as she's looked in a Great Britain vest. It's really good to see.
Slišković able to find Mazic, who turns, can't make the shot. And Stewart grabs the rebound, and now GB can come quickly in transition. Gandhi, another miss for Steph Gandhi. This is just not what we've become accustomed to seeing from her. That'll make it 2 of 24 from the field in the tournament for Gandhi, who was the MVP in the British Women's League this season. Here comes Ivankovic for Mazic. Collins. Now Stewart. And Handy. Collins always on the move. Looking to attack and penetrate. Forced up, difficult shot, but they get it to go. Xenia Stewart somehow forcing that one in. And that's how quickly Croatia can respond. Slišković now on 6 points. GB closing in though, within 6 and trying to make it a little closer here with Stewart back out to Handy. Nice spin move from Handy, it pops in and out though. Out of bounds, still going to be GB ball. Out of Simpson in for Steph Gandhi. Collins across the midway point of the second quarter. Finding Handy. Shot clock's down to 5 already. Handy going to try and drive in, kick it back out. Nobody in that spot though. And a turnover from GB, and that leaves the floor wide open for Iva Borovic to come and hit the easy 2. Allen. GB have to protect the ball better on this possession. Handy. Now Xenia Stewart moved on to Handy, and then Collins will put up the 3. It's another from downtown for Stephanie Collins. Those 3-point shots keeping GB close. 3 of 4 from the outside now. Croatia will try and answer back and do with Iva Borovic, who's having a fine first half. 14 now for Borovic.
Well, Borovic, they just overload the top of the zone. They run 3 at the top, they move the ball, they get the defense to match up, they take an extra pass, and Borovic has really benefited from being the player who's moved into the open slot.
Handy to Stewart. And this for Xenia Stewart, and Croatia could look to create a double-digit lead again so quickly here. And the travel called though on Luka Ivankovic. It's Dominique Allen handing it off to Handy. Into Fagbenle. And travel called that way as well. Double-double for Fagbenle yesterday, and that was after a 22-point game against Latvia. A young player who certainly got the ability to be a key part of this GB side for the next 10 years or so. Croatia just have plenty of talent in their ranks too. Luka Ivankovic getting that one to go. She now has 4 points and 5 boards.
It's tough to play behind the Vankovic in that situation. Not a lot of space. He's very deep. You could front. They can't throw the lob then.
Handy puts it up. A miss and an offensive board for Bravo Harriet, who's then fouled. Third personal on Jankic. Aldiff Simpson in the game, one of the young GB players. Here's Collins, the most experienced, moving it on to Allen. Now Handy. GB down by 10. Benley, shot clock's down to 3, has it stripped away by Slišković. Milo Glav finding Slišković. Jankic returning it back. She got basket side of Benley, forced under the hoop though, and then Handy helping out to strip the ball away. Timeout for Croatia here, they lead by 10, 39 to 29, but Coach Braslav Turic still got some sorting out to do as we approach the final 2 minutes of the half.
Turic taking the time out. He's got to run an out of bounds play. He's got 12 seconds, which is plenty of the time. But 2 minutes going into the half, he'll be looking to squeeze now. He'll be looking to go into this half into 12 to 14 points up. He wants to really try and build some momentum going in. He knows that GB haven't got a timeout left, so whatever he puts on the floor now, he may even get up the floor. But with Vankovic on the floor, unlikely. But he really will want to know where he wants to get the ball. He's going to try and squeeze out. They're Great Britain have got to realise that. I'd like to see them put some pressure up the floor. They've got plenty of fouls to give. They've only committed the 1 foul. No one's in foul trouble. Get down, play, try and get Croatia into a little bit more of a rush situation so they can't just walk it down and dump it inside to Vankovic, who then just dumps it outside to someone wide open. Intriguing part, coming into halftime, always an important part of the game.
2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the first half here at the Arena Savaria in this final Group C match for Croatia and Great Britain. Croatia leading by 10, 39 to 29. They've had a couple of double-digit leads. Great Britain reeled them back in at 1 point. They have burst away again behind the 14 points of Eva Borovic, who had 17 against Serbia yesterday. Or the day before, rather, after 5 and 6 points in the first 2 games. She seems to be getting better and better. And Croatia are putting themselves in with a chance of reaching the second phase. Here's Slišković. Quick turn and shot from Slišković, nothing but net. Benley. Ella Clark. Benley puts up the long 2. That's not her shot.
Well, when we talked before, as the ball goes from the wing and is buried, but I was just about to say, Clark from the perimeter is a good option. Benley in the post is a good option. And they gave up an open one to take a tough one. But Clark buried the 3.
Slišković scoring shortly before at the other end. She now has 8 points. Coach Turic's team up by 9. Begic. Vankovic back out to Slišković. Shot clock's down to 3 here. Moved into Begic inside. She turns, puts it over the top of the defense and in.
Can't play behind against these guys underneath. Begic, beautiful touch on the turnaround, but again, the entry was just too easy.
Clark, who hit the 3 the last time down court for GB, onto Benley. Clark's going to look for back-to-back 3s. Off the mark that time.
Jeez.
Van der Waal gets the lucky breaks.
A strong wind flew in from the open door to blow that one on the side of the thing. And Van der Waal makes a really seriously decent penetration because she really protected it well.
Croatia so quick up the court though. The foul on Benley. Couldn't get the basket to drop, but Jankic will go to the line for 2.
And the ball made the nice layup, kisses it off the glass, inbound, 1 pass, layup. As someone shoots it, someone is supposed to be safe. People are supposed to react. At the moment, Croatia are reacting. Looks like Well, GB didn't come into practice earlier on today. They decided that the 9 o'clock practice was maybe a little early, but Croatia did put in an appearance earlier than that.
It's paying off right now. They lead by 11. Final seconds of the first half is Clark in towards FIBA, who lost it underneath her, and Croatia come away with it. Gandhi picks it back up and finds FIBA in the post. He gets it to go, and the foul. Chance at a three-point play for Temi FIBA. Good diligence from Steph Gandhi that time, not to give up and to try and win the ball back. Can't complete the three-point play, but grabs her own rebound and then steps on the line. FIBA stuck on 6 points, 5 boards in this first half. GB led by the 9 of Steph Collins, those three three-pointers. Borovic, leading all scorers in the game for Croatia, has 14. 3-second differential between shot and game clock at the end of the first. Slišković waiting for movement ahead of her. It's in towards Begic and a foul. First on Gandhi. He will not rest until this job is done, that's for sure.
Borovic is in. He knows he's got like the last 14 seconds here. Borovic shooting the ball well. She's going to make the defense play honest. She pops up open, expects him to give her another opportunity to add to those double-digit first-half points.
Siglar will try and hold it as long as possible for the last shot of the first half here. Siglar moving it towards Ivankovic. Has to get a shot away here. They didn't in time. Sliškovic's effort too late, but Croatia do have a 9-point advantage at the half. It's been in double digits. They lead 45-36 behind the 14 points of Iva Borovic.
Well, Croatia, with the pressure of needing the win to give themselves a chance to qualify. 45 points in the half. A lot of points in transition, have given themselves a real good opportunity to put a lot of pressure on the teams, the game that's going to follow, giving themselves the opportunity to potentially qualify. Rebound-wise, it's a nice job by Great Britain, but the reason Croatia only had 2 offensive rebounds is that their shooting percentages are really high, so there's not a lot of offensive rebound opportunities that they need. And that's the one disappointing thing for Great Britain fans on the far side of the gym, is that they've given up a lot of fast break transition points that are just too easy.
They've struggled, GB, to score in previous games. 36 for the half isn't bad, but they can't seem to put the two together.
No, and that's the worry for anyone who's followed Great Britain basketball since 2006, when they came back into as a full-time sort of team, as opposed to just a one every 4 years team. It's situations like that where Luka Ivankovic just ends up picking it up because she reacts faster than everybody else. And then the inside-outside, all the blue shirts down below the foul line, with a team that can shoot the ball very well with their feet set. And Mazic continued that form that we've seen in all these games. Apart from the first one, she's got some confidence, and she's had a really, really solid series of games.
Croatia spreading the scoring out well in that first half. They've only got 10 on the, or 9 rather, on the roster right now. They've got 14 from Borovic and scoring, 8 from Slišković, 7 from Mazic, 5 from Siglar. So several players that look poised to potentially have double-digit games. 4 assists for Siglar as well, 4 assists for Slišković, and a big rebounding game for Ivankovic too. She has 5 in the half. GB led by the 9 points of Steph Collins, those 3 from downtown, 6 apiece for Van der Waal, for Handy, and for FIBA. They have been better on offense, 32 points, having averaged 50.7 in the tournament so far, but they have given up 45, which is a huge number to give up here against Coach Turich's team.
Well, they've given up 59% from two, and 67% from three. You know, they've done a better job offensively, but those numbers are scary. If you're a team that doesn't score a lot, even when you've had a better scoring game, those numbers are not going to give you a win.
Look at the bench points as well, 24-11 in Croatia's favour, and they hardly have a bench.
Wow, literally hardly have a bench. They're down to 4 players on the bench, I think, and you know, it's they've been a step faster, a step quicker, and a step stronger for the whole of the first half. But hey, we've said it before, Great Britain only down by 9. What they can't do, Great Britain, is they can't go back to the same lineups that started the game and go 13-2, 15-2. They've gone back to the same lineup almost every single game and have gone down big at the beginning of the first and the third. They still persist with it, though.
Well, GB certainly can't afford to do that in the third when we return. Down 9 already. They can't allow this Croatian lead to grow. At the moment, Croatia sitting relatively comfortably in terms of picking up the win that they have to keep their campaign alive before they're left to rely on Russia against Serbia later on. At half-time at the Arena Savaria, Croatia 45, Great Britain 36. Very warm welcome back to the Arena Savaria, where Croatia lead Great Britain 45-36, a 9-point advantage at the start of the second half, led by the 14 points of Iva Borovic, followed by the 8 from Sliškovic for Great Britain. Steph Collins has hit 3 from downtown for 9 points. They have closed the gap on a couple of occasions, but Croatia, for the most part, have held GB at arm's length here in this game today, in a game they have to win to keep their hopes of reaching the second phase alive. If they do win this one today, then they will need to rely on Russia defeating Serbia in the final game of Group C, which will immediately follow this one. What do you made of the performance so far of Croatia, Mark? 45 points in a half.
Well, they've shot very efficiently. That's very easy to do if you've got shots in transition, and also when you're allowed to catch the ball so deep in the keyway. But they've really executed well, especially in the half court, to get those shots. And then inside, outside, we talked a lot throughout this tournament of not leaving your player when you're one pass away, because it's so easy to get the shot away, and that's what's happened. That's why Borovic has the points. He's been wide open to make those shots. The disappointing thing for me, more than anything else, is that Great Britain as a Great Britain fan base sitting on the far side, they'll be disappointed because they're used to seeing Great Britain never let teams score those sorts of percentages against them. And this Croatian team, for all the great qualities they're showing, this isn't a great Croatian team in terms of its ability, its experience, and they've come out and scored 45 points, and they're just making open shots on the break, open shots in transition, catching the ball deep. So whether Great Britain go to the zone, whether they play man-to-man, they haven't played a typically Great British game in terms of basing it on great defense. Down the other end, we always say stats never lie. If you look at the stats, there's just too many people taking too many bad shots on too many minutes, and it hasn't been changed up. So offensively, you know, there's some questions for Coach Buckles when he looks back at this tournament to analyse. Did he run the right stuff? Did he stay with the right people? Now, we've made this point a lot. They've gone back to the same lineups that started most of the games except for yesterday, and have really struggled at the beginning of the quarter. I just hope for a Great Britain perspective and the neutrals here that they have a good start and get right back in this game, because if they have the normal start, game over.
GB absolutely blown away in the third quarter by Serbia yesterday. Let's see what they can do here. Croatia starting with a miss, and it's a rebound for Fagbenle.
Ivankovic would be disappointed. She caught the ball on the charge circle.
Stewart up against her opposite number, forced back to Collins. Van der Voort trying to get open on the near side, puts up the three. It's good for Rachel Van der Voort, and GB closed the gap to 6.
Well, that's exactly the start that Great Britain needed, and they had to work hard to get it, because they played good defense on the inside, Croatia, but as we've said before, if Rachel Van der Voort gets her feet set and gets the good pass, she's doing a decent job percentage-wise.
A whistle on the play here, foul on Fagbenle. Van der Voort 5 of 13 from the field for 13 points against Serbia. One of just a couple of players who've shot the ball well for GB, Steph Collins being the other one. Fagbenle will take a seat now, having picked up her third personal. Siglar prodding and probing, getting inside, finding Ivankovic, and another foul.
Well, skipped to the middle. And just threaded the eye of a needle on that pass, but really the rotation defensive has got to take away that sort of straight line cut that Luka Ivankovic had going to the hoop.
Ivankovic 1 of 12 from the field in game 1 for 7 points, but she's hit back with 13 and 16 since then, and pulled down 8 and 7 boards in those 2 games.
It reflects the whole Croatian team in terms of coming out of a difficult game 1, but responding, regrouping, and each individual contributed in those a really nice series of games for an under-resourced team.
7 straight free throws for Croatia, and a treble call, no. The foul on Ivankovic, and the basket counts.
No, they've gone on the end. What? The officials are still talking about it, but they're not going to count the bucket. But the good thing about that for Stewart, same thing that we talked about the Croatians doing, caught it and went, didn't give the defensive chance to set. So nice job by Xenia Stewart.
Van der Voort. Allen looking to get inside, shot clock down to 3. Van der Voort from the outside again. Back-to-back threes for Van der Voort at the start of the third quarter.
Well, now they've got to find her again if they can get. She's made the last 2 threes. Don't have to just look for that, but they know where Van der Voort is on the floor, deep in the shot clock. Yeah, she can get another look here.
Siglar Borovic perched on the outside. He goes inside instead to Ivankovic, and then a foul that frustrates Handy.
I think they're trying to claim that Ivankovic set up home in there, pitched a tent, stayed inside for a lot more than 3 seconds. But as we say, it's a call that referees don't like to make, but I would agree on that occasion. Ivankovic, well, the tent pegs were uneven.
She gets a trip to the line nonetheless and takes the first, so 8 free throws in a row for Croatia now. Ivankovic 7 points and 5 boards.
But they're letting her catch the ball around the charge circle. Get in front, bump her, play her before she gets the ball. Don't rely on the official to make the call. Bump her out there, get in front, try and play a little harder off the ball.
The way they're shooting the ball from the foul line at the moment, Croatia, you wouldn't realise this was a high-pressured game for them. 9 in a row.
Handy's only on 2 fouls, and there was a nice little bit of rhythm developing there for Great Britain.
Here's Stewart. Gandy now, Van der Voort. He's hit a couple of threes in the last 2 minutes. Stewart going to go to work inside instead, and nice move, left hand off the glass.
Well, we said in the first half, don't just try and go over Luka Ivankovic. Move her, go past her with a step. Watch the little second move that Stewart made, a little step through. Nice job by the Great Britain big.
GB certainly keeping this a game as it's played in towards Ivankovic now. Risky pass across to Borovic. She steps inside and knocks down the 2. 16 now for Borovic.
What a game for Borovic. Gets her feet set, balanced, strokes it. Really did read the situation. And
the frustration all round in the GB camp.
They have some momentum here. They've been knocking down some shots. They're already now on team fouls. That call's been made the whole tournament. Set good screens. You get a shot. You don't have to do the illegal screen, the high elbow. And that just gives Croatia another go back at the other end where they haven't really earned it.
Borovic. Mazic. Looking to get Allen up in the air, then try and feed it into Ivankovic. Story of the tournament in many ways, though, for GB. When they have a chance to build momentum, they don't take it.
Man, they hurt themselves. And you know, the offensive foul on the trip before hurts you. You're in control of that. Just set the good screen.
Van der Voort. Stepping into the paint this time, back out to Allen, who shoots the long 2. It's way short and grabbed by Begic. Siglar going to attack inside. Nice little bounce pass and a foul on Van der Voort as Mirna Mazic was releasing the shot.
Foul number 6, Collins.
It's on Collins from the front rather than Van der Voort from behind.
The rotation was same as the first points of this third period, where the rotation just wasn't quick enough, and the Croatian, in this case Mazic, was able to slash to the basket to pick up the pass.
16 points against Serbia on Saturday for Mazic, 5 of 11 from the field after 13 against Latvia. And number 13 adding to her tally here from the line. Can't hit the second though. And Croatia lead is 8 points. GB quickly up court here to Aldif Simpson. Forced to turn back though. Van der Voort. Siglar closing it down. This is Gandy now. Back to Van der Voort again. Quickly into Stewart in the paint, who can't get the better of Mazic. Foul on Allen, off the ball, contact with Mirna Mazic.
While Croatia shooting these free throws, there's a question for you, Tim. We saw Latvia yesterday with a great performance. And if one of their players had made like 2 threes, really looking like she's in the swing and got some real momentum going and some nice rhythm, you wouldn't miss her for 3 or 4 possessions. They went back to Jakobsoni, or they went back to Basco, they went back to whoever, and Putina in particular made 3 shots. They kept looking for her, set good screens for her. No one has set a screen for Rachel Vandervoort since she's made the second of back-to-back threes. They're in that flex scenario, and I love the flex in lots of ways. You've got to have another option. You'll run something to get someone who's got the hand the ball.
There's Aldith Simpson for 3 now for GB. She knocks that one down. And there's another option.
They've got a lot up there. Little penetration on the dribble. We just don't see the dribble and the kick enough from this Great Britain lineup.
Here's Siglar. GB back within 5 here. Siglar, lovely move onto the right hand and throws it up and gets it to drop.
It's a beautiful decision, wasn't it? That hesitation dribble just froze the crowd, let alone the defense.
Van der Waal, now she has a chance to shoot for 3. Can't hit for the 3rd time from downtown.
Mazic did such a good job chasing that shot down, got a hand right up on the release. Great reaction from her because she went to the first, recovered, and forced a rushed shot in the end. Great defensive effort by Mazic. And Mazic is really, her stock has risen a lot in the period of this in this tournament.
Here's Borovic. Her stock has certainly risen as well. Can't get it to drop that time, and Fagbenle comes away with the board. Midway point of the 3rd quarter here. Simpson, who's just hit one from the outside, moved on by Clark to Van der Waal, then to Gandhi. Clark, nice pass in towards Fagbenle.
Pass. He ate 2 passes that quickly. There's no defense, doesn't have a chance to recover. Nice pass, beautiful finish. 5-point game.
Sliškovic. A miss, and now GB have a chance to build something to get within a 1-possession game.
Just need a good shot, don't they? There you go, layup on the end for Great Britain, timeout Croatia.
Look what it means to Steph Gandhi, for her personally as well, after such a frustrating tournament. And how many times, if ever in this tournament, have we had 2 baskets in a row for GB that close to the hoop?
Wow. Well, it's very easy. We're in the easiest seat in the house to coach from because we don't have to make any decisions. But the great thing for GB, and we were asking, did they have another option as opposed to this just simple passing type flex that they run? And Steph Gandhi made the little dribble to the kick. They went high-low with a different type of look, went high-low with 2 quick passes, then they get points in transition. You know, they've gone 3 consecutive, so a little bit of momentum. What you really want is this, let those 5 players play for a while here. There's only 4:29 to go. Don't break this momentum. Be nice to see them come out with a little bit of pressure at the timeout. It's going to be interesting to see how Croatia react now. The pressure of trying to win, to get the chance to qualify, this is when it will really come into play. But Siglar's seen these situations before.
Here's Jankic, who hasn't, only 20 years of age, now Siglar. She's going to put up the 3. Rebound grabbed by Fagbenle, that's her 9th. Van der Waal. Fagbenle finding Aldith Simpson. Van der Waal in towards Clark, who tries to find Fagbenle again. Can't quite make the connection that time. She was tracked well by the defense.
Little frantic. But still, Great Britain got the opportunity to get closer to the ring for a higher percentage shot, and they made 5 passes in that set.
Jankic out to Ivankovic. Now Sliškovic. Up against Clark, able to spin under the hoop. 3 seconds to get a shot away. Can't get the hook to go. Van der Waal quickly up court, the foul. Couldn't quite get it to drop, but Van der Waal making something happen, and she'll go to the line to try and close the gap.
Well, this is a very good series of play for Great Britain. They're the team now that's getting points in transition. They're the team showing a bit of energy. and they're getting high percentage shots, and they're getting different types of looks because the ball movement is that much quicker.
Why have we had to wait until midway through the third quarter in the fourth game to see this from GB?
Well, I think we've seen it at different times. That period of game against Serbia, when they ran really, really well in the second period, got it back to 6 and the chance to cut it to 4. And then they made some changes and they lost the rhythm and the ball got stuck and Serbia just went away. It's a one-point game, really nice momentum. Nice some interchanges on the inside. Buckle's gone back to the Azania Stewart and Fagbenle combination on the inside. He really looks like he wants to really go inside and really try and attack the ring.
Ivankovic tried to find Slišković, knocked away, only 2 seconds to shoot here. Slišković can't hit, and Fagbenle pulls down her 10th rebound of the game. GB have a chance to take the lead. They've been down big in this game, and they have fought back. Here's Van der Voort, and a foul before the shot.
A little bit worrying in that possession because that's the first time in about 4 or 5 times on the floor where the ball started to stick again. And they've got a lot of success with the quicker ball movement.
Azania Stewart. Across to Van der Voort now. Inside towards Fagbenle. Fakes one way, creates a bit of room, steps back but can't hit the shot. Slišković able to grab the rebound. GB back about as close as you can get but can't completely turn it around. Ivankovic going to try the 3. Stewart battles well for the board, comes away with it. Van der Voort looking to attack aggressively again. And the foul on Miloglav, who's hurt. Third personal on Carmen Miloglav. Great to see Rachel Van der Voort picking up the ball and trying to make things happen for GB. Fagbenle takes a seat, just 2 points away from back-to-back double-double games. Van der Voort goes to the line to try and level things up for GB. 14 points in the game for Rachel Van der Voort, make it 15. It's her best scoring game in the tournament so far. And his second free throw would give Great Britain the lead. His team have turned it around. GB really asking the questions of Croatia. A 21-9 run in a game that Croatia simply have to win. Miloglav to Slišković, closed down quickly. Faced then by Stewart, now Mazic, who couldn't shake off the attentions of Allen, who commits the foul.
Mazic a little fortunate really because she did lead with her arm and tried to clear Dominique Allen out, palming her hand on Allen as the defensive player. And Croatia going through one of those flat spells that every team at various points will 2 from 7 from the free throw line for Mazic, and on the back of a great tournament for her, very unusual, should we say, and unexpected.
Well, those missed free throws could come back to haunt Croatia. And they can't allow this flat spell to last for too long as Mazic picks up a foul.
And it's as much as she may have felt she could steal it, Dominique Allen had her hands on it before she even got there. And important for Great Britain, they keep the scoreboard ticking over and the momentum going.
Croatia over the foul limit, so Allen shooting the free throws and knocking down the first. Find it the second, and Mazic grabs the defensive ball, but then loses it, knocked away.
Heads up play by Steph Gandy to knock that away from Mazic.
A bit of nervousness creeping into the Croatian game here. You can understand why. They're 12 minutes away from elimination, but this is as close as it can get here. Coach Buckel's team up by 1. Collins to inbound to Van der Waal. Free on the perimeter from the inbound pass. Can't hit, grabs her own rebound though. Van der Waal to Stewart. Van der Waal on the perimeter again. Shot clock down to 3, drives inside. Right hand throws it up and in. 18 now for Van der Waal. Borovic, who's been surpassed as the game's leading scorer. Slišković. Approaching the final minute of the third, she gets Stewart up in the air. Can't finish though.
Good defense by Xenia Stewart. Really did force Slišković to take a tough shot.
And here's Stewart at the other end. Throws it into the hands of Mazic, who worked hard to get back. Jankic in towards Slišković. Trying to get away from Allen this time. Allen doing well to hold her up. Slišković, though, rides the challenges, gets the basket to go and draws the contact.
Nice move by Slišković. Xenia Stewart, normally with a little more size, but she was able to get the ball over Dominique Allen, and Stewart comes over to foul. And you've got to credit Slišković after the play before. Watch the second effort. There's that second effort, and then you see this. It's a sloppy foul to reach in like that.
Slišković completes the three-point play and now has 11 in the game. Final minute of the third quarter, Croatia are back level. Clark to Van der Waal. Allen goes inside. Van der Waal onto Gandy. Can she knock this one down? No. The shooting struggles continue for Steph Gandy here in Hungary. Final 30 seconds of the third. Borovic going to shoot the 3 and the foul. Chance of a 4-point play for Eva Borovic and a chance to move on to 20 points for the game.
Number 7, Rachel Van der Waal, her second personal foul.
The miss by Gandy on the mid-range open shot, and then great execution again though by Croatia. The down screen just took Van der Waal so long to get through. Great catch and shoot.
20 points in 20 minutes for Eva Borovic.
So important for Great Britain to just execute this time. They need a good shot. You know, if they get a good shot, they get a good look at it, good percentage make it. That's a turnover.
Allen trying to recover. It is going to be Croatia ball with still 5.5 left in the third to fashion out a shooting opportunity. So Croatia back up by 4 just to ease the pressure slightly ahead of the fourth quarter. If they could get a good look here, they could ease it a hell of a lot more. Mila Glav thrown up from the halfway line. No chance there from half court. It is a 4-point Croatian lead at the end of 3. Coach Buckel's side fought back to get in front thanks to Rachel Van der Waal, who has 18. But Eva Borovic hitting a 4-point play right at the end of the third to restore the lead for Croatia, 62-58 after 3.
Well, you've got to give some credit here to the Great Britain lineup for the comeback, because they were deep and way out of this. But 46% from the three-point line has helped them get right back in it. Rebound-wise, they are just dominating on the glass, 31-19. And don't forget, Croatia, one of the better rebounding teams in this competition, just beat Latvia on the glass. So that's a very good performance by Great Britain as a team on the glass. Still trailed by 4. Croatia need the win, as you keep reminding people. They get the win, they get a chance to progress. Rachel Van der Waal without that 3 and then a back-to-back 3 with the next possession, which you're going to get another look at now. really did spark that comeback. And then they went in with that lineup that moved the ball much quicker. They went little inside plays to Fakbenle, and Stewart got the two there. But Borovic has just had the game of her career here. Tremendous performance. I mean, Borovic plays for Coach Čurić in club, so normally that does help you get comfortable. You know what your coach expects. You've still got to knock down the shots, and she's done a marvellous job.
Playing in a senior tournament for the first time here, Iva Borovic, not one of the favourites to make the final selection, but trusted by Coach Čurić again, having been a part of the Medveščak team that won the Croatian title under her national coach as well. And what a performance, 20 points in 20 minutes here against Great Britain. Croatia lead by 4. Croatia 62, Great Britain 58 as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. It could be a nail-biting fourth quarter if you're a Croatian fan. Their hopes to advance to the second phase rest on this, and then the Russian-Serbian game immediately afterwards. Temi Fakbenle has had a good contribution today, 8 points and 10 rebounds, on course for another double-double, one for the future as well as the present for GB. Steph Collins has been part of the furniture for this GB side for a long time. Here is Fakbenle, only 22 years of age, now Clark. Collins going to take the 3. Recovered on the offensive glass by Gandhi. Forced by Jankic to step on the line on this near side.
Well, Stephanie Gandhi's woes continue. Just adds a turnover to the shooting problems he's unusually having.
Coming off the back of her best ever season for her club side, winning the title with Sheffield. Borovic attacking again, can't score this time. It's still going to be Croatia ball. Slišković, the other Croatian player, into double figures with 11. Mazic trying to make a move to get away from Clark. Clark stuck with her well. Moved on swiftly by Collins to Gandhi. Collins has it back, now Ella Clark. Fakbenle. Clark's going to shoot the 3. Had plenty of space to do so and knocks down her second of the game.
A nice read because the defense played the back screen, and Stephanie Gandhi did a nice job given the angle as well. Different read, different reaction.
Slišković. Croatian lead is 1 as Jankic tries to answer back with a 3. No contact on the perimeter and the air ball. He certainly can't rest yet.
Well, the old coach fraternity that there is amongst coaches, he's worked so hard, Čurić. For a neutral, you'd love to see Čurić get a win here because he's just carried his team against all the adversity.
Clark on the perimeter again, gonna get inside now, find Gandhi. She'll hang one up from mid-range, can't hit again. Steph Gandhi, so the trouble continues, but GB have recovered on the offensive glass. Now Van der Voort going to attack inside. She hangs one up. Things are working for her. Van der Voort now has 20. Great Britain lead against a Croatian side that have to win. Wide open 3 on the near side, no good for Milaglav, and then a whistle.
Yeah, I think Stephanie Gandhi's going to get called for the push. Just got lost on the shot.
Foul number 13, Stephanie Gandhi. Her second personal foul. South Croatia, Tiglar is back in the game.
Croatia have to just keep on going through the motions, trying not to think about the situation, and just trying to execute. And they've turned the ball over.
Surprised they haven't gone back to Vankovic. No, she's got the 3 fouls, but she would give us some real solidity on the inside. But he's going to try and hang on to her until it gets to about the last 5 minutes.
Clark going to try from the outside again, contested this time, couldn't hit. Fagbenle trying to grab the offensive rebound and penalised.
A little bit of sympathy with Fagbenle on that. It's very similar to the call the other way, but it got called the other way at the other end because Sliskovic has got the palms of her hands hooking her down. You know, and I think Fagbenle's absolutely right to be a little frustrated with that one. You want referees to be consistent. One call the one way and then can call the different way with a different interpretation at the other end.
Fourth personal on Fagbenle, so if anything's going to stop her getting that back-to-back double-double, it's going to be foul trouble. Here's Borovic. Nothing's been stopping her. Nice pass in towards Sliskovic, but she blows the open layup.
Got out of jail on that one. Beautiful cut by Sliskovic, and then just missed the layup.
It appears as though a few doubts are starting to creep into the Croatian minds. Here's Stewart. Dribbled into trouble. And Sliskovic able to take it back for Croatia. Siglar. Across to Jankic, the 20-year-old looking to attack inside. Aggressive play. And the offensive foul drawn.
Well, players that have got experience, and even though Stephanie Gann is really struggling offensively, comes up with a huge play. Body on the line, the veteran takes the charge, finds way to help the team.
Absolutely ran over by Ruzica Jankic. And forces the turnover. Here's Gandhi at the other end, finding Van der Waal. Into Stewart now, looking to create some space between herself and Sliskovic. Clark calling for it inside. Stewart going to go to work, has it knocked away.
That's two very, very poor decisions in the half court.
And Borovic scores again in transition, now has 22 in the game. And Great Britain are going to call a timeout here. They've just fallen behind again. Croatia leading 64-63 behind the 22 points of Eva Borovic.
Tim, what we've continually talked about throughout this game is quick moves. When Dominique Allen made the quick move to the middle, gets the hook. Azani Stewart's taking 2, 3, and once you get beyond 2, your defense has normally got the advantage. Two possessions running. She's got open people on the position. She's better to pass and reposition, not try and put it on the floor. She struggles after the second dribble. Tough. That's 2 turnovers when they had the lead. And those, again, plays where you hurt yourself. Even though Steph Gandy put her body on the line, we turn it over, going back the other way. Croatia, as they've done throughout this competition, keep finding ways to just keep themselves in it. How many times did it look like Latvia were going to get back in to win the game? And they found an answer, found a way.
Well, can Croatia find a way in the next 6.5 minutes to pick up the win that they have to get to keep themselves alive in the competition? Eva Borovic has certainly done everything she can do, 22 points in 24 minutes. Sliskovic has 11 for them. They only 2 in double figures, only 1 for GB, but it's 20 from Rachel Van der Waal for Peter Buckel's side.
Coming out of a timeout, you really want to execute and get a good shot. You might not make it, but you want the shot you want. You do not want to get into a bad decision and a bad turnover.
Here's Van der Waal.
A lot of dribble.
Not too much time left to work with. She goes quickly onto the right hand, but just ran into a Croatian wall in the form of Sliskovic.
That's poor coming out the timeout.
Thrown up by Siglar, but over the top of Mazic. Croatia present it straight back to GB. Van der Waal takes a seat. Here comes Handy. He's worn that grimace for just about the whole tournament, Coach Buckel. Handy finding Stewart, that's a nice pass, and then Sliskovic came across. Unable to deny Azania Stewart.
Looked like for all the world it was going to be a foul, but Sliskovic, some serious hops. Stewart's got to go up strong though in that situation.
Borovic for 3. Sliskovic on the offensive glass. And she's going to look to attack now, stopped by the help defense of Chantal Handy. Tipped away by Ella Clark on the far side. Still 5 seconds left for Croatia to shoot. Midway point of the fourth quarter. Croatia leading by 1. Here's Siglar. Gonna have to put it up here, Siglar. And Clark comes away with the rebound. Handy.
Just execution for both teams now. Which team's going to execute to get more of the shots that they want?
Clark trying to throw it into Stewart. Jankic grabbed the ball as well.
There's just no space for the pass. Well, Great Britain were having a lot of success because with Gandhi on the floor and with Clark, they were able to spread the floor and they have some perimeter threat. They've now gone big, and they're going to look like they're going to try and go back inside. It's a tough call. It's from a Great Britain fan perspective. There's a few of those on the far side of the gym. They'll be hoping that works.
Slišković back out to Borovic, closed down quickly on the perimeter, going to try and get inside now, put up by Jankic, the 20-year-old, with a big basket for Croatia. They lead by 4 with 4 minutes and 15 to play. Fagbenle back in the game on 4 fouls for GB. Looking to go to work on Slišković. And a foul call, basket won't count.
Slišković called for the block. Last 4 minutes of the game, Croatia make a good decision, penetrate, find the open player. Again, 1 pass away, you can't leave players 1 pass away. They have too much time for the open shot. Down the other end, Great Britain have to get the shot they want. And with the lineup, it looks like they want something going to the hoop.
Allen in towards Handy. And the foul as she puts it in. Chance for a 3-point play for Chantal Handy as GB close the gap again.
Well, that's exactly, they've got the big lineup in, and Chantal Handy, we've talked about her athleticism around the ring. Good move. And there's the foul, just wanting a little too much.
8 points now for the number 8, and a chance to add 1 more from the line and to get GB within 1. Khan, and Slišković grabs the rebound. Eva Siglar looking to orchestrate the play across to Borovic on the far side. Slišković peels away off the screen and puts it in from mid-range.
Nice little 2-man game where they just created the advantage. They let it go to the middle. But Slišković, as we've seen in this competition, mid-range, very, very effective.
Steph Collins almost prodded away by Siglar. Able to hold on to it. Passes inside towards Simpson, picked off. Croatia with a chance to create a little bit of a gap for the first time in a while. Siglar's going to take her time with still plenty of seconds left to work with here. Finds Borovic. There's the movement, and there's the pass, and there's the finish from Eva Slišković. Croatia lead by 6 and force Great Britain to call timeout with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Croatia 71, Great Britain 65.
Wow, the trademark of Croatia, the way that they work for each other off the ball. Read the defense on the overplay, make the back cut.
53's good.
Great Britain tried to run the same play, just didn't execute it as well. And they tried to throw it to Simpson around the ring as opposed to a big around the ring. And it's just, again, in that type of set, unless you've moved people and got switches, Simpson on a pass and alley-oop, unusual if it's successful at this level. And the thing is, it was slow and Slišković read it. Down the other end, 1 pass, Slišković shows to the ball and then cuts hard. Nice job by Croatia. Again, down the end of the game, as they did against Latvia, making very, very solid decisions and getting the person they want to shoot the ball the chance to shoot the ball.
Eva Slišković just 4 points against Serbia after 12 and 15 in the first 2 games, but she's back in business today. Slišković now on 15 with 7 rebounds and 4 assists as well. A tremendous all-around performance when Croatia need their big players to step up to the plate. They're certainly doing that at the moment, but it's only a 6-point advantage with still plenty of time remaining.
Huge call by Great Britain to sit down Stephanie Collins at this stage. 6 down.
Van der Waal almost lost the ball under pressure from Siglar. Fagbenle finding Handy. She's going to shoot it from the outside. Didn't need to.
You have the biggest lineup you can put on the floor. Croatia will be very happy with the decision to shoot the 3. But without Collins at the point, they just do not have the stability to get, really what they want at this stage of the game. Whereas Croatia, running set, running what they want, the right person has the basketball.
Lovely move to get inside, but ran into the big blue wall in the form of Temi Fagbenle and a shot clock violation.
24 seconds off the clock, still got the 6-point lead, and Fagbenle did well to stay in the play.
Final 2.5 minutes. Coach Braslav Turić's team closing in. Fagbenle, I'll be happy with her holding onto the ball up there. Stewart. Onto Van der Waal now, needs to make something happen quickly. Tries to drive to the baseline, then able to throw it off the legs of Slišković just to keep GB in possession.
Croatia are back in that place where they're not respecting the perimeter game. And Clark's coming back in for Stewart, which will give him a perimeter threat, but Steph Collins still on the bench for Great Britain.
Thrown in straight towards Fagbenle, he wasn't able to hold on to it. They still had 6 seconds to work with GB, turn the ball over.
And Siglar's going to walk this down. They're going to try and manage the clock. Time and possession is what Croatia are interested in now.
Handy in a real scramble to try and save it. Deflected away out of bounds, though. Still going to be Croatia ball.
I think everybody stopped. They thought it had been a bit of a foot violation, but the officials didn't see a kick. It just happened to bounce off the foot.
Croatia continue to eat away those valuable seconds. Siglar. 100 seconds now between them and the possibility of a place in the second phase as Siglar puts it up high off the glass and gets it to go right at the end of the shot clock, and they lead by 8 points. What a huge play from Eva Siglar. Fagbenle rolling away from Slišković and drawing the contact, and she'll have to earn them from the line.
Nice first step by Fagbenle. She'll be disappointed she's not shooting 1, having made the 2. Well, Stephanie Collins comes back into the game having sat down for just short of about 150, nearly 2 minutes when she went out. It wasn't an 8-point game. And I think at this stage, in the same way that Siglar is really demonstrating for Croatia, you need your experienced leader, point guard with the basketball. And it's a difficult one to understand. Croatia made a call, Great Britain made a call. It's worked for Croatia. It hadn't worked for Great Britain.
The missed free throw from Fagbenle, denying her back-to-back double-doubles at the EuroBasket, but she's there to intervene.
Nice double team, long double team.
This game's not over yet. Here's Clark, especially if this goes down. Off the mark from Clark and out of bounds off the feet of Begic.
It's got to be in rhythm when you shoot the ball. And you've seen Boric demonstrate that, waiting for the one that you've got your rhythm. Fortunately, comes off the foot of Boric. And Great Britain get another opportunity.
Van der Waal. Approaching the final minute, GB down by 7, in towards Fagbenle. Tipped away and then tipped out of bounds by Mazic. Just trying to make it difficult for GB. Take as many of those seconds off the clock as possible.
GB making it difficult for themselves with his selection of options.
And we're going to have a timeout with 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 1 minute and 5 remaining in the game. Croatia leading 73-66.
Well, Great Britain simply have to score with this 7-second possession. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be a foul. They do run a really nice out-of-bounds play, which gets Fagbenle the ball when she's about 4 or 5 feet from the hoop in the middle. Now, obviously, Croatia would have scouted that. They'll know where to look. Well, then it gets someone else to who's a shooter, Van der Waal or Collins, to take someone out the middle, get a good shot, get the two. You're back down to a 5-point game with an eternity still left in terms of it's over a minute. This game could go right the way down to the wire, but Great Britain have to score. And the other thing about Great Britain in this scenario is they still have 2 fouls to give. So they can't foul cheaply, so they can be aggressive with their defense. They can't let Croatia run this down, so the clock just beats them. Aggressive, going at steals, seeing what they can get. After FIBA, I would think, gets the shot coming out of bounds here for the 2.
Croatia leading by 7 with a minute and change remaining. What a job Branislav Turic has done to manage this team with all of their injury problems to try and lead them to the second phase. They're a minute away from doing everything they could have done and relying on Russia later on, but GB looking to score here to make it a nervy finish, and they do, as Fagbenle puts it in, a double-double for her again now.
That'll make something happen with their defense, Great Britain. Croatia are just going to have to try and use the clock. It doesn't look like they're going to go that hard after it. Well, Croatia are going to run this all the way down. Great Britain going to let them.
In towards Slišković, almost got her fingertips to divert the ball. Did Fagbenle, but Slišković picks it up still and finishes, and that should just about be the game.
Wow, too much time, it absolved the clock.
Van der Waal finding Fagbenle really quickly. 13 points and 10 boards for her now. Back-to-back double games for the 22-year-old. One of the plus points, one of the few plus points from this tournament for GB. Croatia going to call timeout, leading by 5 with 26.8 seconds remaining.
That's what there's still plenty of time here for Great Britain. It's still a tough ask for Croatia. But those 24 seconds when Slišković scored that just ticked off the clock, that's how important they are now. And they've really got to come up with a steal. Because they've still got to foul the good. They can be very aggressive on this first pass. Try and get the steal, get down the floor, get it to a 1-possession game, whether it be a 2 or a 3.
When we push it, I've got no time out, so I can't advance it. We got to go. Collins, you get ahead. Rach, you
after that basket from Slišković, Coach Buckle's side able to score very quickly. They needed to.
3.
Croatia playing in the final round for the 6th time. They've reached the quarterfinals in 3 of the previous 5 appearances.
Straight on the rim, that's no worries.
Torn apart by injuries in the build-up to the tournament. Anna Leilas, the veteran, shooting guard Anthony Mizura, and EuroLeague women's star Maria Rezin all missing out. A couple more that have retired recently as well. The question was whether the young players would step up to fill the gaps. What they weren't anticipating in the first game were a couple more injuries to add to the concerns, but Coach Turic has done a wonderful job of getting the best out of the players he still has available. What an achievement it would be if they could reach the second phase here in 2015. Still a bit of work to do. Borovic.
They're going to foul.
Slišković. They've worked it to Siglar here, and they're taking time off the clock before Fagbenle fouls with 18.9 to play. Fagbenle will foul out of the game with 13 points and 10 rebounds. GB needs something here, batted away by Clark.
They'd like to keep Borovic and Sigler away from the basketball.
Borovic does grab the ball, and she's fouled by Gandhi. So GB over the foul limit, and 17.5 remaining in the game. Borovic will go to the line to try to add to her 22 points. And if Croatia can keep hitting their foul shots here, then it's game over. And the first one in and out for Borovic.
Still only going to be at worst a 2-possession game here. 17 seconds down the floor, quick 3. Croatia will probably advance it because they've still got the 1 timeout left.
6-point game. GB need a quick score. Van der Waal. Out to Collins. Van der Waal. They need to put it up here. Van der Waal short. Deflected away out of bounds with 5 seconds on the clock. And Croatia have another injury concern as well. And it's Borovic.
If this is the last minute, that's just how ironic for Borovic. What a great game she's had. And they could be ending the tournament as they started the tournament in the first minute and the last minute with an injured player.
You're talking about one of their key players in Jelena Ivazic, injured in the first minute of the first game, and now a player who's become a key player in the absence of other players, injured in the final few seconds of the last group game. Let's hope it's nothing too serious for Iva Borovic, who has 23 points today. Coach Branislav Turic and his team 5 seconds away from picking up a crucial win. And they will, as GB just put it up inside. Croatia have done their part to keep themselves alive, but it could yet be bittersweet basketball today for Coach Turic and his side. Now they must wait and watch and hope that Russia can rally to end the Serbian streak. Croatia get the job done here behind 23 points from Iva Borovic. We hope she's okay after that injury at the end. 17 as well for Šišković, who's had a great tournament. Great Britain bow out, having lost all 4 of their games in Group C. It finishes Croatia 76, GB 70.
Well, you've got to take your hat off to Croatia. Again, challenged by Great Britain, challenged in every game Croatia after the first game, and they found a way to win 2 games with some really depleted resources. Borovic was just immense. Siglar took so much, they took so great care of the ball. 11 turnovers against Great Britain's 19. And again, though, how important was Steph Collins sitting down with 1:50 to go? And that's where the game just got broken open a little bit. But a better performance by Great Britain to finish the tournament. McBenley ends up with another double-double, just underlines what a basketball talent she is. She has so many options of what to do in her life. One just hopes that one of those options is to play basketball with the Great Britain national team, because EuroBasket will be a better place for her continually playing. But Croatia, all the plaudits should be with them, because that is a typical Croatian performance in this competition. At times, in various other tournaments, they're flattered to deceive. In this tournament, they've overachieved with all the resources that they had out of the game. And Coach Turic, from a coach to a coach, he's done a remarkable job at finding ways to get contributions out of players who came here with no European experience. Tremendous performance by Croatia. Now they've just got to sit and become the biggest Russian fans you can become for a few minutes, for a few hours, and hope Russia can take Croatia through to the next round.
And Latvia will take their GB tops off and put their Serbian tops on.
Yep.
What a fascinating game. That should be the final game in Group C, which will see Russia and Serbia go toe-to-toe. 2 of the top 5 favourites for the entire competition, and top spot on the line in that game as well. You won't want to miss that one. Croatia here have got the job done behind 23 points from Iva Borovic, 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 5 from downtown. Iva Šišković, 8 of 17 from the field for 17 points, also pulled down 7 rebounds. GB's best performance of the competition, but they go home having lost all 4 games in Group C. They were led today by the 20 points of Rachel van der Waal, 6 of 10 from the field, and Temi Fagbenle a double-double, 13 points and 10 rebounds, shooting 5 of 8 from the field. But frustration for coach Peter Buchel and his side again. For Croatia now, it's all about becoming a Russian fan in that final game. You won't want to miss that one. Stick with us for it. The final score in this one, Croatia 76, Great Britain 70.